Welcome to Shift Chats, Mother and Daughter Special Edition. Welcome to Shift Chats.
Hello, hello.
We're back for a part 2. Because them questions she asked me was kind of tough, y'all. So I decided we was gonna flip the script.
Oh my goodness. Here we are.
And so, please allow some grace because my daughter is a little shy.
A little shy, a little nervous.
A little nervous. Even though she just went ham on me with the questions. But
Not too bad.
so we're gonna flip the script. So I wanted to just share for the people. We do a lot of twinning them. So y'all can see we got matching pajamas on today. Because we thought it was cute.
Glasses,
Yeah. Locks. She has traditional locks. I have sister locks. So we do a lot of things. I feel like we are actually each other's muse.
Yes.
You know, people say who's their muse, but I think we are both each other's muse.
I can attest to that.
Look to Caitlin for a lot of things she probably don't even realize as strength and encouragement and support. She's like my personal best friend cheerleader. And is very good at like nope, mama, you can't, or you gotta, you know, she definitely helps me, you know, especially in this, I think, time I'm in now with like setting boundaries and, you know, speaking up for myself, some things that I hadn't always done in the past. So, I thank you and appreciate you for that because that's been very helpful.
Yes. We gotta tell where we got our pajamas from.
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx. And they actually didn't even have your size.
Yeah.
It was like mixed match. Like it was weird, but
It was like a whole
work.
thing. It was like we want these pajamas,
Yeah.
so we gonna do what we gotta do.
Exactly.
And they actually fit.
And
It's
they're
comfortable,
cute.
but
Yeah.
that was like a whole mix up at the store. So but it was funny because as we were sitting here and we actually were kind of wrapping up, I was like, we should flip this and let me ask you these good questions that you asked me, because I think that they're all kind of like relevant and flow to like where you are in your, you know, young adult life, you know. So let's get started. So this first question is childhood memories. What is your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory is honestly us going to Florida
Okay.
and just taking the trip out there. That was my first time on the airplane. And I just remember like having my little backpack with my crossword puzzles and my CD player with the headphones. And then getting there, I just feel like it was just a fulfilled week.
Right.
And I remember just being excited coming back to share like with my classmates, like everything we had did.
Right. Like that
Disney
question when you get back to
World.
school, like, what did you do this summer?
Like, I couldn't wait to spill it all. So yeah, I would say that is my favorite childhood memory. Just all of us getting together and
I love
going
it.
to Florida.
Okay. And so we had a timeshare in Kissimmee, Florida. And I think we went every year probably for about a good 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
That was like our summer vacation.
Right.
And we would take we took cousins at some time and friends.
Yeah.
And that was like a whole thing. Like that could be a whole show in itself,
Yeah.
just talking about like how we would
Right.
go to the grocery store.
Yes. Make the sandwiches, have our chips
Yes.
and snacks.
We would plan because we were, you know, budget friendly, you know, people.
And I feel like I didn't feel that we were on a budget. Like it was just like we having a great time.
Right. So we would, and this I think would be a good tip for people who travel, you know, with their kids. So what we would do is when we got there, we would go to the grocery store and do like a grocery shop for the week.
Yeah.
Right. So we would get stuff to make breakfast, stuff to make lunches, because we were going to a Disney attraction. Like we literally would do
Yeah.
Disney World. I don't know what the other, the space
Adventures
thing,
of Jimmy
the
Neutron. It was a
water.
lot of-
Yeah. Like we would do all of the parks.
Right.
So we would pack our lunches and then we would have one meal that we would eat out. So normally we would do breakfast, have lunch, and then we would eat dinner, like out at like one of the restaurants or whatever. So that was like how we budgeted, a family of 6, being out and all of that. So yeah,
Memory being so fun.
right. And then they still would have, because we would go during school time, so they still had to bring like their homework, and we would set aside time, like they had to, do so many activities or worksheets before we would start our day.
Yes, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
You're right.
It would
did
be
have to
really
do my
structured.
homework. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Okay, next question. What was your favorite game to play as a kid?
Favorite game, I would say Uno and Monopoly.
Okay.
I know it was one, but I feel like those were the 2 that we played a lot.
Yeah.
Especially Monopoly.
Yes.
That was the one.
Do you feel like you learned anything from playing Monopoly now that you look back on it, or no?
And things are very expensive, you need to invest. Need to invest in some houses or something.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
But honestly, I feel like I liked playing all the games. I like that quality time that we had as a family. So I really don't feel like. But Uno and Monopoly, yes, those are my favorite. But any game, really. I was just excited to sit down and, relax with y'all.
Right. I love it. And movie night and all that stuff.
Movie night.
Okay. Can you share a funny story from a family holiday or gathering?
A funny story from a family gathering. I don't know if it's a...
I feel like, because we would remember we would do the 4th of July at the house. Remember I feel like there's a firecracker story or something.
From the 4th of July?
Yeah, remember we would do it in the driveway? I feel like something happened.
That was when our neighbors called the police.
Well, that's a funny story. Yeah.
That is. And I remember the police had came and we had already cleaned up everything.
Yeah.
And we did it so smoothly. So when they came, they were like, "Oh, like we got a call about like fireworks going on."
Right.
We're like, we didn't have any fireworks. And like we just been out here relaxing, just drinking, eating. Like it was crazy.
Right.
So I totally forgot about that. But no, that would be the funny story because otherwise I couldn't think of anything else. But no, them calling the police was crazy.
Right.
That night.
So yeah, we would I don't know, like fireworks was like one of my favorite pastimes. So we would go ham on the fireworks.
Like, this whole room would be filled with just fireworks.
Yeah. And so it was like the show, like for the whole block. Like we would set up the chairs in the driveway, like you're at a drive-in movie or something, all the chairs. Yeah. And then we would have the firework show like in front, and we would have the whole block lit up for 30 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And the neighbors were hating.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, I remember those good old days. Yeah. What's the most hilarious thing that's ever happened at a family event? Wait, did we just do that? Yeah. Kind of. Okay, that's kind of the same thing. Okay. Yeah. If you could have dinner with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Have dinner. Ooh. I honestly would say Whitney Houston, even though she passed away. I don't know. I just feel like she was full of energy and spunk. Right. And I feel like having dinner with her would be just a great time. I feel like she would give me the gems and tools and advice I would need to just continue on with what I have going on. Yeah. So I
love that. I never knew. Okay. What's a dream you had as a child that you still think about?
A dream. I would say really just living in my purpose and just being happy and just being myself. I feel like those dreams just made me feel happy, and I feel like I'm tapping into that now at the age of 29. Because I feel like in my 20s, it was just like school. And now that I'm in my career, I feel like I can tap into those dreams that I've had and really kind of focus in on that and becoming myself.
Yeah. So I love that.
Becoming type of thing.
Yes. I love that for you.
Thank you.
If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I actually just asked this question to my other friends because we're about to be 30 in January,
Mm-hmm.
and I told everybody to list 3 places you would want to go, and mine were Bali, London, and where else did I say? Bali, London. Can't remember the third, but
Okay.
Stephanie mentioned Africa, and I'm like,
Okay.
how did I forget Africa? Because like we
Yeah.
had talked about it, so I would say Africa as my third.
Okay.
But the main, Brazil. Brazil was the one because I think I did. I forgot the name. Me and you have talked about it with the astrocartography or whatever. And I feel like
Oh yeah, with the lines.
one of my lines would have
Astrocartography is it called?
astrocartography.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of my lines went through Brazil. I don't know which city in Brazil, but I feel like Brazil would be the place I would want to go.
Okay.
Kind of see how I would feel being there.
Yeah. Okay. And that was on you remember that being on your graph when
On
you
the
did
graph.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't get into that this time, y'all. But we definitely are like into like signs and zodiac, the moon and the stars, and how numerology and all the things. So we might have to do a special edition, and talk about our charts or something like that.
Yes.
So, okay, what's a funny habit or quirk you have that people might not know about?
That I might have. That I tend to just randomly sing songs, like, and it's not necessarily the same song, but just like outbursts almost. I could be on the phone, it could be quiet, and I just be like, like, and it's like, girl, like what, like why are you singing that? So I think that's a weird quirk that I do have because I've noticed.
I feel like you and your brother Jacob do that.
That we just have those outbursts.
Yeah.
You just gotta get it out.
Definitely.
I've noticed that with myself, but yeah.
Okay. Who was your celebrity crush when you were younger?
I had a lot.
Okay.
Celebrity crushes. Soulja Boy. I don't know if you remember Soulja Boy. I used to love watching him on 106 in Park. Because he was like known for like all of his music videos and songs at that time. So Soulja Boy, he was on my screensaver, on the computer, just everything. After him was Little JJ. I don't know if a lot of people know who that is, but he had his own TV show.
On Nickelodeon, right?
Yep.
But he was like he won like a comedy show.
Yeah.
And it included adults, I feel like. It was like some like, you know how like they have The Voice and all that stuff now. Right. It was some, I can't remember the name of it, but
and I think I tried to watch it, but I don't know if I watched the full thing.
Yeah.
Little JJ and...
Where is he now?
I have no idea. I had a weird crush on him.
Right.
And then,
you had other crushes.
I did. Oh, Lil Romeo.
Okay.
Lil Romeo. Those are my top 3.
I'm stepping up. Okay.
Top 3 crushes.
3 crushes. Okay. If you could bring back any fashion trend, what would it be?
The 90s for sure, because I was born in 95.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, I don't know, I like the baggy type look. It looked comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Tommy Hilfiger crop tops, but I feel like we kind of do that now. But if I could actually participate in that fashion trend, I would do the 90s.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen some pictures with you like in the 90s. I'm like, dang, okay, this is cute. I like
right.
It. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty good pulse on fashion. I think I probably, because I was, or I should say in the past, used to be worried about what people say. I didn't like go as far as I probably would go now.
Even back then?
Yeah. Yeah, because I still wasn't, like I still was like, what are people going to say or what they might, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now it's like I'm going to put that ish on, that shift on, and I'm going to, make it do what it do, whether it came from Amazon or Nordstrom's or Chanel or, like I don't really care about that at this point, but yeah.
Well, as long as you look good, that's all that matters.
That is all that matters. What's a hobby you've always wanted to try but haven't yet?
Ooh. Let's see. I feel like I would say tennis. I remember participating in that when I did the National Youth Sports Program with Marquette University. Um, we did like a few days playing tennis, but I feel like if I could do that outside of
Okay.
just a random activity, random hobby, I would pick up tennis.
Right. Okay. I like
And
it.
and it's hard, like
Yeah.
doing it using that
The
tennis
racket is heavy.
yeah,
Like
and
it's
really having
a
the power to hit the ball over the thing.
it's a real sport, and I
Yeah,
don't think people really
no.
kind of like
Maybe I need to
understand
start
the.
with pickleball first.
We're gonna do pickleball together. Oh, this is good. What's the most recent book you've read, and did you enjoy it?
The last book I read was called The Locked Door. That's the psychological thriller I was telling you about. I rated it an 8 out of 10, just because I feel like it just took forever to get to the actual nitty gritty.
Okay.
But The Locked Door, quick little summary. It was basically a surgeon who her father is a serial killer, and he was away in prison for about 26 years. So the anniversary of that 26 year was coming about. And he was known as the handyman because he would cut off his victims' hands.
Oh.
And so again, she's a surgeon, and two of her
Patients?
victims
Okay.
patients that she worked on came up killed and their hands were cut off. But her dad is in jail, so
Dun,
trying
dun,
to figure
dun.
out.
Okay.
Pretty good, but it's
Okay.
kind of slow. Yeah.
Right. It
So
sounds
next-
interesting. I wonder if it's a movie connected to it.
I don't know, but that author, I think her name is Freda something.
Okay.
But she has a lot of good books I've heard, so I gotta
Cool.
check into her other ones.
What's your favorite way to spend a Sunday afternoon?
Excuse me. I would say either I sometimes would like to try to clean up on Saturdays so that Sundays I can just kind of relax and honestly just Netflix and chill. Like I don't want to do too much either.
Right.
I probably should incorporate meal prepping because I've learned in our sit down that we had a couple days ago how much money I spent.
Oh, we'll talk about that after this last question. I
Whew.
think that'll be a good little.
How much money? So yeah, I probably should incorporate meal prepping, but honestly, yeah, Netflix and chill. Like I love a good show or
Okay.
movie to watch.
Nice. Do you have a favorite quote or mantra that you live by?
I feel like I honestly got this from you. I would say, "Be still and know." I can't think of the
Psalms
Bible.
46:10.
Yeah, I think without even realizing, especially throughout my time of nursing school, of like just having that patience and being still and knowing that what I have set in my mind, it's bound to happen. Not on my time, but in the time that it's supposed to happen.
Yes, Lord.
So, and I think now, after just my time in nursing school, I have appreciated that and have learned that it's going to take its time. And I have to sit in that and just be patient and just know that everything will work out as it should. Like, you feel better too. Like, I feel like my anxiety has went down. I'm not thinking too much into it. I'm
Right.
not overthinking. So yeah.
Because we have to focus on what we can control.
Absolutely.
I love it.
You do. You always tell us that.
Yes.
Focus on what you can control.
Right.
It's a process, so
It is.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to
Uh-oh.
your and I feel like we've done this before, like so one of the things that I've tried to do with you guys is like really help you be like money conscious, financially literate,
Yeah.
set goals and have benchmarks and all those things. So you mentioned the other day we made a budget.
Coffee shop. Yep.
We were at the coffee shop, and I don't even know. I think you were like, I had to pay my rent or something. So you were gonna pull up and like pay your rent, and I was like, well, where's your little thing? Because I had made out my list. So
Yeah.
for me, and I got this from my mom actually, and I'm still a pen to paper person. Like I know people we got all these computers and digital
Yeah.
stuff, but I still like to have my notebook and
Exactly.
like write out like my monthly bills.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad has even made like a spreadsheet for you guys to
I
be able
gotta
to
tell him
use.
to send that to me.
So, so that you can have your option of how you want to do
Right.
it. So basically, in writing out your budget, we went through the list of like everything, all of your
That we pay
expenses,
for. Mm-hmm.
right? So we started with like your rent, your car
Car
note,
insurance.
insurance,
Ooh, what else was on there?
like electric bill, phone
Phone
bill,
bill, other expenses, lashes,
expenses,
hair.
right?
Yeah.
All of the
Nail
things,
shop.
right? And so the idea is that you look at, okay, these are all of my expenses, and we're just gonna make up numbers for the sake of conversation, but
Right.
let's just say it was $2,000.
Right.
And then you look at what your net income is that you bring in, not your gross, but what after they take out taxes and your
Exactly.
whatever else you getting taken out of your check,
Right.
your net, and then your net minus your expenses is kind of like what you have to like save or put up for a rainy day or whatever.
Exactly.
And so one of the things that you noticed
I was
is
shocked myself. Yeah.
you want to tell the people what you had noticed when we was working on your budget.
So again, I'm a nurse, so I tend to order takeout a lot. DoorDash. It's the DoorDash. That's what it is. So yeah, I looked at my summary for, I think it was this last month and
Yeah.
like the month prior.
We did 3 months and we did an average.
We did an average. So I'm a Jonathan, try to just take a guess of how much I spent last month on food.
On food?
Yeah, it's
The
food
month.
on. Yeah,
Okay.
month of May.
500?
No,
More or less?
yeah, it's more. Yeah. So yeah, I basically spent $900 on food last month with takeout and stuff. And prior to that, in April, I think it was like $750.
Yeah.
So it's
So your
I'm
average was
averaging
about 800 in
something.
3 months.
Okay, just hearing it, just like shake my head.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I need to incorporate doing like meal prepping, cooking at home, and then you have told me like maybe I need to take out maybe 150 in cash and just put that up towards takeout. Once
Right.
that's gone, then the rest that I will have for the remainder, I
Right.
can put that up towards like saving and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Right.
that's what I have
So
to
we
do.
did we took the average of the $800.
Right.
Right. And we said, okay, get an envelope and put $150. And we talked about this because there's like, I don't know what the envelope thing is called, but there is like an envelope saving process
It
like
is.
people do, and they have like, these pockets of envelopes that they do.
Right.
So I would put your 150 in there, and then you would take like 350 and actually do a grocery shop. Or say I'm going to spend like 125 a week on actual groceries.
Right.
Right. And then the other 400 from that 800 average number,
Right.
put to a savings account or, like just put it away so that, maybe invest more into, you have your financial advisor. So maybe put in a little bit more in there and see just like
Exactly.
over the next 3 months what that looks like how much actually you could save and have put away
Exactly.
based on being disciplined. We talk about that all the time, like that discipline of having a plan.
Right.
And that 150 is like, oh, I'm too tired, I don't want to cook. Well, maybe you only spend $20 to go and and then you have
Exactly.
and once you spend that 150, if you spend it up in 2 weeks, then that's it for the month for
got food
that
at the crib.
fast food. Look, now as a young adult,
Oh, I say it now.
the we got
sometimes.
food at
Yeah,
home
we
is
got food at home. Definitely got food at home. After realizing that, I was like, yeah, I did way too much.
now you know why we said that. And now it all makes sense.
It's all making sense.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that.
Yes, yes.
Anything else you want to share for the young adults who are maybe struggling with budget, or I think that's a last little transition that would be good to
And yeah, so I'm still learning myself, obviously. I would say writing that out on pen and paper. So like your rent, car insurance, phone bill, writing all of that out. If you're doing Netflix, you need to write that on there too. Nails, you need like literally everything down to a T so you can really see how much it is that you're spending.
Right.
I think that's the first part. And then also too getting a financial advisor. I think I got mine, was it 6 months ago? Maybe 7 months ago. So also getting a financial advisor to help you put up towards like Roth IRA, 401, whatever the case may be. So you can be putting money up and like not seeing that. Like that's just going to be growing itself. So
Right.
I would say those two things for sure.
For sure. I like it. Maybe we'll share. We work with the company called Edward Jones. So maybe we'll share that information.
Yeah.
You know, so people can, you know, reach out and kind of get their own
for sure.
information
Yep.
for that.
That's what got me going.
Right.
Yep.
So we'll be checking back in, y'all, in a couple months to see
where we at.
during our next special edition of Mother Daughter Chats. We're gonna check back and see how this budget is going.
But see, do
and
this weekend count though? Because we've been hanging out this weekend.
I think
That's well over 150. So
Right.
I already messed up this month.
yeah. So we was cutting up. You know, we missed each other. We was outside a little bit at the places and stuff.
Right.
And she was like, "Mama, you really do be outside." I was like, "Yeah."
Because how do you know all these restaurants and desserts and
Right.
dinner, everything?
Yes. So I think you could start like effective now, moving forward. And so, you know, you can plan it all out and you know, kind of go from there. But
I agree.
I definitely will, you know, want you to share with the people like what it looked like, you know, after you did it for a month, after you did it for a couple months, like, you know, could you really see a difference? But, and I think that's with anything, writing it down, you know, I say that all the time, like write it down and make it plain.
Yeah.
Because once you see it, you know, like that's when you can start say like, oh yeah, this is, oh, now I see what I was doing, or, you know, how much I was spending. Because, you know, we have our cards and we just, you know, kind of swiping away.
Yeah.
Which is,
That's my problem. The tap. I've been doing the tap now. Just quick.
the tap is a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that wraps up the addition of me asking you the questions.
Right.
That was cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with the people about to follow you on your?
Yeah. Well, first I want to say I'm excited that we're officially doing this because we had talked about it honestly for the past maybe year.
Yeah.
Some change. Then we'll just be driving in a car like, yeah, we should try to do that. We should do a little sit down, and now it's happening. So I'm happy.
Right.
And yeah, so my Instagram is Caitlin.Monet, and it's the same on YouTube as well. So please subscribe, comment, like.
And that's Caitlin with a C.
Caitlin with a C, CAITLYN.Monet, MONAE. So it's the same on Instagram and on YouTube. And what else was I going to say?
Your new business venture that you're working on.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that in the first video too. So Renewed Self, follow me on Instagram, Renewed RENEWED, and then Self is with a C, CELF. Follow me on there for future updates and launch.
And Renewed Self is what kind of business exactly?
It's an IV hydration, IV drip business, IV vitamin therapy. So I'm gonna come to you and let's just say you want to get a vitamin C drip, then I will administer that to the client through a IV, and it's a quick and efficient way to get your vitamins, your nutrients, electrolytes, the whole shebang.
Yes.
And we curate it to the patient's wellness goals. So for optimal health, that's what Renewed Self is all about. So I'm excited
I'm excited for you. This has been a labor of love, work in progress.
Yes,
I have watched the blood, sweat, and tears of you. Like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. When is this gonna, you know? But as an entrepreneur, and for me as a person who helps entrepreneurs, you know, they always say like when you like a nurse, you're kind of the worst patient,
Yeah.
you know. And like for me as the mom who has been an entrepreneur, like talking to my kids who want to do entrepreneurial things, sometimes hearing it from me, you know, it's like, oh no. And then it's like, maybe you do got a little information. So like, yeah, this is what I do, like
Yeah.
help the people. So
Exactly.
I'm excited to see all of your work come to
Excited
life.
too. Yeah.
It's going to be big.
Excited to just jump over that hurdle because this is something new. Like I've been working as a nurse now for 2.5 years, and now just stepping into something that's new. It's challenging, but I'm ready to kind of take on the challenge and see what's new and what opportunities come from me giving back to the community.
Right.
Keeping our health in order. So
I love it.
Yes.
Remember, the shift is happening now.